It's so good to see you. Many of you have been here this summer or working this summer and haven't had as much of a break, so kind of welcome to our world. I don't get to take off much time during the summer, but for those of you that were able to rest and get away, welcome back and bring the energy with you. You have some new folks here, but we are here actually to celebrate what I think is certainly speaking to a culture of excellence. And so I'm here to do a welcome, but you'll have to indulge me just for a while because I don't get to talk to faculty very often. But if you don't know my story, I came to Tennessee to work for the Pillsbury Company. You know, I never thought that I would be in higher ed. And so just a chance opportunity when I moved with my husband to Knoxville and didn't have a job, I answered a paper ad because in my generation, that's where you looked for jobs in the paper. And there was this thing about part-time employment, business instructor. And I remember thinking, well, maybe this is something I can apply for and do before I get back into corporate America. And that first, they were on some quarters, I had to teach 5 different courses, and I had 7 days to prepare, because of course they hired you at the last minute. And you know how that is. So I had this blank example of a syllabus and these textbooks. I didn't know what I was doing. And my poor students, they didn't know either. You fake it till you make it in some cases. And what did I do? I started the whole, okay, we're going to break the class up, and you all are going to present chapters, and, all the things that you saw your own instructors doing, using the test bank for questions, true and false. I didn't know the word pedagogy. I didn't know what that meant for a very long time, but I was trying to do the best I could. And that classroom experience changed my life. I mean, it did. It really did. It was such a difference in seeing how you could directly impact someone's life than making cake mix in Murfreesboro. And so what you do here has real consequences. There are so many stories of students or graduates that come and specifically speak about their Nashville State faculty and what it meant to be in that classroom. You heard our speaker today. You're making a difference every day. But I didn't know how to teach. I didn't. And I was credentialed. And many of you may have the same story. It was something you thought you might do, and then you find out you like it. So I am heavily invested in making sure that each and every one of you have the tools that you need to be successful in the classroom. And the truth is, these students have changed, and they'll continue to change. And we've got to change with them. And so this journey for those of you that completed this program actually started when Deborah was faculty senate chair. We started talking about it, Neely Ann, and they met with this organization, and we talked about how could we possibly afford to do something like this, but the investment was so critical and important, and then COVID happened. The good thing was we then had funding to send people through this. So this is the beginning of a commitment to making sure you have the tools you need in the classroom to be successful. Because at the very heart of who I am, I will always be a teacher and an educator. And if I could ever get my schedule together, I really want to teach NSCC 1010 one day, because staying on the front lines with the students and having that real classroom experience, you can't duplicate that in any other kind of way. I meet with students all the time. I get to talk to the SGA, but being in that classroom and going, oh my goodness, this student has come to class every single class period, but they're not doing their work. I've had that experience. I understand that. Even when you talk to them, hey, what's going on? Oh no, I'll get it done. And then they don't. I know this will sound odd, but we can't save every single student as much as we want to. But we certainly can spend more time with the ones that just need a little something more, that just need a Gracie to reach out and ask the questions. That instead of saying, my door closes at such and such time, and you're always late, too bad. Going, why are you late to my class? I know I saw Jamaica Hines earlier. We had a student at Southeast who didn't understand that you can't take your Zoom class at 8 at home and actually make it to class by the next period of 10:30 or whatever the time is. They just really didn't understand that, so they were always late. And what did you do? You modified it and said, take your Zoom class here, and then they're on time. Sometimes it's literally just asking a question and having a conversation. So I've taken up more time than this welcome was supposed to, but I just want you to know as we go into this new academic year, I'm with you. I support you. Your jobs are tough. We want to make sure you have the space to learn, to collaborate, to grow, and then we're going to push you to say, what else could we do to help these students that do come to us with a high school diploma, single digits on the ACT? What could we do differently as a faculty, as a college, to do something before they ever get in the classroom to help them? So I just believe there's a lot of power in this room to really make a difference in the classroom, and how we better prepare students walking in and how we support them to help them get out. And I just want you to know I'm right there with you, locked in arms, asking you to help us work together in this. It's not a we versus them, it's a us. And you certainly have a advocate and a champion in me to support you through this work. So thank you for all you do. Congratulations to our graduates that will be pinning. It certainly was an undertaking. And I encourage all of you that are going through this year and those that have yet to take that step to really participate, because everything I'm hearing is it's making a real difference. So congratulations to each of you. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Rothstein.
Good afternoon and welcome. As I look around the room, I'm filled with a deep sense of appreciation and pride for this faculty at Nashville State. I've been here a little over a year and a half, and from day one, I've been amazed at just the passion and dedication that the faculty here have for all aspects of their work. There are 45 faculty members receiving a pen today. That's roughly a third of all full-time faculty. And next year, it will be over half. And the following year, I'm hoping we can reach a critical mass of faculty who are ACUE certified. The pins being presented during this ceremony recognize excellence, hard work, and leadership. You know, when I interview new faculty members, I often ask them to describe what they believe to be the characteristics of a great faculty member. And while there are many characteristics, there are three that generally rise to the top. They are heart, passion, and a desire for excellence. Heart. It takes heart to be a faculty member. Teaching is not prep, instruct, grade, repeat. It has an emotional and personal side. And that's vital to the success of our students. It can be difficult sometimes, and it can be taxing sometimes. But as we heard from the student speaker this morning, James, it's so rewarding. And it really can make a difference in someone's life. His story is a powerful reminder of our purpose. To be a great faculty member, you have to understand the challenges your students encounter, both inside and outside of the classroom. You have to be willing to connect with students, and as stated in the Beagle Poverty Institute, you have to seek the reason behind the behavior. Sort of like Gracie did with her A&P student. Earlier this summer, I was reviewing the Watermark survey results, and I was looking at the questions pertaining to the office hours pilot, but I was really struck by the student comments. There were so many positive comments, like, she put a lot of effort into everything she taught and made sure that every student had the help they needed. Very comfortable energy in this course, and everything was explained in detail and what was needed for each assignment. I always enjoy her class as she makes sure we understand and learn the course material, but she also makes learning fun and interactive. I've had her a couple times at Nashville State, and I love her. His teaching style helped me understand the material in ways I never have. I ended up reading all the comments, over 4,000 student comments, because I was really just overwhelmed by the heartwarming responses from our students. And those comments are evidence that you have a heart for your students and you have a heart for teaching. Passion. To be a great faculty member, you have to have passion. Passion is what stokes that fire in us to keep us moving forward, learning more, and trying harder. It's obvious you have a passion for your content discipline areas. I'm assuming that's why you have your degrees in your fields, because that area interests you and excites you, and you want to share that knowledge with others. But you also have a passion for improving our communities, and you know the best way to build a better future, it's through education. For many of you, that passion for eliminating equity gaps is the reason you signed up for ACUE. And for those of you who don't know, ACUE is not just about active learning strategies or effective assessments or even student persistence. It's also about creating an inclusive and supportive learning environment where students feel safe, both physically and emotionally and even mentally, and they feel recognized for their individuality and they're valued for their contributions. And I just want to put out a study that ACUE has, that as an efficacy study with Broward College, the course completion gap closed for Black students. And the gap in passing courses also closed for Pell eligible students, for those students who were taught by ACUE credentialed faculty. That's what we are working to accomplish. Reflecting on the equity data that Charles presented this morning, we do have a serious equity gap. But I have every hope that through this ACUE work that you are doing, we will close those equity gaps. And a drive for excellence. You know, you can have a heart for this work and care about your students, and you can have a passion and really love what you do, but it's the drive for excellence, really the nexus that brings those all together. Many of our students they began college without a solid academic foundation, and they needed help to overcome those gaps. Some students, like James, had a great academic foundation, but still struggled outside of the classroom. All of our students are human, and just like us, they struggle. They encounter challenges outside of the classroom, like illness or work conflicts, family issues, mental health issues, and sometimes financial barriers as well. Those challenges have, of course, intensified recently with the emotional, financial, and social losses of the virtual world that we've been living in. But great faculty make all the difference. One of the biggest drivers of retention is a student's connection with their faculty member. By completing the ACUE Effective Practice Framework, you have demonstrated that you care deeply about your students, and you want to help them feel valued and encouraged to change their lives and achieve their dreams. Our students are lucky to have you shepherding them on their academic journey. You are the epitome of excellence and the physical representation of our core value, leads. Now, there is a motivational speaker named David Goggins. I don't know if anybody here knows him, but he's a Navy SEAL. He was also an Army Ranger, and he's an ultra athlete. He has a saying that one should seek to be uncommon among the uncommon. You have done that. You've created a new standard of excellence. Thank you. And now, Mary Atkinson from ACUE will come up.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just drove in from Atlanta this morning and was told I was allowed to make some remarks, so thanks for having me. And this is going to be a bit off the cuff, but I just want to start by saying thank you for your commitment to student success. Dr. Jackson was talking about your students and your potential students, and I just want to say, like many of you, I was one of those students. So I am a child from an abusive home. I ran away from home when I was 15 years old, and it was the educators in my life that completely changed the trajectory, both in K-12 and at my first college where I got my undergraduate degree. And I want to remind you that your students who are coming to you from difficult situations, for whatever the reasons are, it really doesn't matter. Maybe they've tried before and they're here to try again. that it's not just the access, it's not just the office hours. For some of them, they're learning how to live a normal life by being in your classrooms and hearing you speak and hearing you lead. So I just want to say thank you for investing in ACUE. The reason why I'm so passionate about ACUE is I'm very passionate about getting more students across the finish line. That college degree, I don't care what the statistics say. The confidence in earning my first degree was exactly what I needed to change my life. And it will be for your current students and for others. And I want to remind all of you that for all of us, maybe for some of us at least, you would have made it anyways. It wouldn't have mattered if your teachers were good enough or not. You had it in your mind, you were going to make it. But there are plenty of students out there, and I was kind of one of them, that wouldn't have, if there weren't educators like you committed to getting me there. They took an interest in me individually. There's research out there that tells us that what it takes to get a student across the finish line, beyond what the student brings to the table, is the educator. And it's knowing that someone at that institution, at least one, cares about their outcomes and cares about if they're going to succeed or not. And for many of your students, you're going to be that one person. So not to put more pressure on you, but thank you again for what you're doing, your commitment to ACUE. My passion for ACUE and working for ACUE is to get more students across the finish line, but also because for me, I've worked in higher ed since 2008. This is finally the thing, finally the time where institutions are willing to invest where it matters most. We've gone all around the students, right? We've bought the buildings, the technology, the support systems, but now we're saying, no, faculty is most important. We're going to invest in faculty, and we're not just going to ask them to change outcomes, we're going to show them a way. And ACUE, with their team of educators and academic experts and researchers, have come up with a way, a research-proven way to get to those outcomes. And I really believe in what's being delivered, but I also respect that you have feedback around that, which I'm open to and ACUE is open to. This is, to me, just a transformational period, and you guys are on the front end of it. So thank you for investing in it, thank you for your time, and thank you for what you're doing in your classrooms. It's a pleasure to be here.
We will now move to the pinning portion of our ceremony. When your name is called, if you will please rise, come this direction to be pinned and get your certificate, and then proceed to the far side of the stage. Yasmin Akhtar. Keenan Al-Rafia.
Kevin is here. Do you want to mention that she's a teacher?
As Keenan is pinned, she is one of our Metro Nashville Public Schools faculty who went through with us, and we are grateful for Kevin being with us today also. Valerie Ballou. Kirsten Bush. Jay Chambers. Jill Cooksey. Audrey Cross. Valencia Darnell. Genevieve L. Scher. Christy Ferguson. David Girth. Doug Godwin. Gail Harris. Mark Helm. Karen Kendrick. Gracie King. Robert Ladd. Robin Lear. Lita Longwood. Deborah Manier.
Connie Matthews. Roslyn Mize. Cynthia Morgan. Harlan Pease. Nikki Pergram. Marla Perry. Janusz Polanowski. Karen Powers. Jessica Rabb. Piper Sessnan. Neely Ann Shukrow. Zimmerman. Yvonne Zimmerman. I know I saw you. Okay, sorry. I know I saw you in the room earlier. All right, Maria Smith. Catherine Sorensen. Elizabeth Stein. Donald Turner. Rhonda Watson. Mary Elizabeth Wilson Patton. And last but certainly not least, my esteemed colleague, Amy Bryant. Congratulations.